We're going to talk about a Scientology dating site, John Travolta being totally kind of cute being a dad, and how Rebecca Minkoff, Scientologist on The Real Housewives of New York, is saying, shh. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Big aloha to everybody here, the chat, the members here. Huge thanks. Lots of mahalo to the moderators for helping out today. We got lots of fun stuff to cover, you guys. Did you know that there's a Scientology dating site? We're going to take a look at it, including some behind the scenes videos of John Travolta that I think are super cute, of him basically being a dad. We're going to look at that. Now I have so many questions about it, but we're going to get to that in just a little bit. We're going to start off with some other Scientology news and things happening here on the YouTubes, including Declare Dave Loves Suppressive SHERRI, who just did a video really comparing the law of attraction to Scientology. As many of you know, Hubbard pretty much just stole the things in Scientology that people do find workable, because there has to be things in Scientology that people find workable and helpful, or they would never keep going. Many of us who were in Scientology have shared with you that those things are at the very beginning of their Scientology journey. And then from there, things kind of get a bit wackadoodle. You know, later on, you get into Xenu and that whole thing. But in the beginning, there are some things that are like, oh, that's helpful. Also, remember, as you progress in Scientology, you're not allowed to study other philosophies, practice other religions as you get into it. And Declare Dave Loves Suppressive SHERRI is doing an awesome job sharing some of these things that Hubbard stole. So we are going to take a look at that. Oh, no, Nora. Wait a minute. Is the affinity exchange still a thing? My dad made me join that at 18. Okay, Nora, we need to talk about that, but it's a little bit different. We're going to get to it. So I hope you stay with us, because I'm going to want to hear what you have to say about it. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is Declare Dave Loves Suppressive SHERRI.
Scientology borrows, and that's the thing about Scientology, is it borrows from everybody, right? Hubbard was not an original thinker. He read something, saw something, copied something, was presented with something. He mangles it a little bit up. He changes some names and some language and some verbs and some nouns, and then he repackages it and pushes it back out to those that want to care.
See, completely, totally. Link down below so you can watch the whole video, because I'm telling you, it is mind-boggling when you leave Scientology and you find out that, oh my gosh, wait a minute, this is here, this is there. I could have been getting this for free. What's happening? It's kind of like, it reminds me of when growing up in Hawaii, there was a Hawaiian group, Cecilio and Capono, back in the 70s. And I really loved their music and certain songs they did. I moved to Minnesota, years go by. I meet my Tony and I'm sharing with this music with him. And he's like, no, that's Hall & Oates. I'm like, the hell it is Hall & Oates. No. It's Cecilio and Capono from Hawaii. Sure enough, I found out Cecilio and Capono was actually covering some Hall & Oates music during the 70s. And he was right about that. So similar in a way, as an ex-Scientologist, Scientologists don't know this. It is so twisted around for them. It is so repackaged. But at its core, when you study these other things, or you read a book like The Secret, you're like, oh my gosh, this totally came from someplace else. So much of it did, at least of those things that many people find helpful. They just happen to also be universal truths. Like, I mean, gravity is a thing. You can believe it or not. But, you know, if I drop this mouse, it will fall. Hubbard did not create it because he talked about it. Not that he talked about gravity that I know of, but other things like that, where he puts himself as the expert, the authority, the one person whose opinion matters, who you need to listen to. It's all part of the whole cult thing. You guys know the drill. Abraham, exactly. He was a master plagiarizer. That is so true. So true. He's not alone in that. Other people do it and have done it. But when you position yourself in the way that he did, it's like, hey, you know, at least try to, you know, have something massively original, which is maybe why he created the upper levels with the whole space opera and all of that. I don't know. Trying to understand the mindset of L. Ron Hubbard is something I'm not sure I will ever accomplish or even want to do. I keep trying to make sense of things that you cannot make sense of because they're irrational at their core. And that's usually the conclusion I end up coming to. Like, oh yeah, it's not going to make sense. What does make sense and what I loved is the reaction of Nick Smith here on YouTube to Tom Cruise's stunt at the Olympics. You got to see this.
Then all of a sudden,
and for those of you who don't know, Nick Smith is here on YouTube and has quite a big channel.
The camera jumps to the top of the stadium where Tom Cruise is standing. And he proceeds to jump off the top of the stadium, lands on the ground, and is running through the athletes who clearly didn't know that this was happening because they're all trying to get a selfie with him while he's running. So that was poorly planned. Then he gets up on stage and takes the flag from Simone, an actual athlete, and he runs away with the flag and jumps on a motorcycle because he's gonna motorcycle the flag all the way to America. Like, what is he taking his motorcycle through the ocean? Like,
it does not make sense. What I love though is when other creators here on YouTube see the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like some might say, well, Natalie, you criticize Tom Cruise because he's a Scientologist. No, not only because he's a Scientologist, it's because he's an a-hole. That's why I criticize Tom Cruise. The actions that he's things that he has participated in on the backs of Sea Org members who are making no money that he used and benefited from in slave labor, doing things he could have paid for. That's why I criticize Tom Cruise. And don't even get me started on SHERRI or what happened with his ex-wives. Those are the reasons, his actions. And I love when, like I said, other creators go at him too.
And then it cuts to all this pre-filmed stuff where he drives a motorcycle onto a plane, then he skydives off the plane, lands and gives the... Then
it's a whole thing. Link down below. I'm going to share where you can check out the whole video because it's hilarious trying to see him wrap his head around it. I mean, you really need to do some mental gymnastics to understand the actions sometimes of Scientologists. Not all, but a lot of them. And I would say Tom Cruise falls into that. Now let's go take a look at PTS for Life, where Jeff was with Gabe and they were having a great conversation about how Scientology is going to get their hooks into the Olympics in Los Angeles for 2028. Because you know that's coming, right? Tom Cruise just went ahead and handed over the flag, the flame, all of the things. So what does this mean for Scientology in Los Angeles?
I just know that LAPD are corrupt AF, and they are on the payroll of so many people, including Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it this way. Scientology has been in Los Angeles for how many years? Like over 50 years. That's a lot of time to get in tight with those kind of organizations. You know, their PR area control is pretty damn good. They have people who know how to PR.
That is true. This is what Scientology does. They've kind of had this 50-year start on positioning themselves as being legitimate and being part of the community in Los Angeles and greasing the right palms, right? They've had all this time. Something to keep an eye on because you know they were out there in Paris, but then Paris was like, boom, smackdown Scientology, you're a cult. Hey, everybody, beware. Scientology's here and they're handing out their propaganda. That's what happened. So I am curious to see what happens in the coming years in Los Angeles. I mean, it's a little ways off, but still, it is not too soon to start talking about it and keep an eye and see what Scientology does. Because you know that between now and the Olympics, somebody working on this behind the scenes in Scientology is going to leave Scientology. And we will be hearing much more of the behind the scenes about this. So I'm here for it. You know how to reach me, Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. Okay, now let's go take a look. Let's go over across the pond to the UK where Apostate Alex did an interview with T from Perth Scientology Audit. And they were talking about a visit she had to Scientology in London where she went undercover and went in there. And during the interview, she shares her experience. We're just going to take a look at a clip.
Give us a bit of context. You went to London Org, you had a hidden camera, and we're going to talk about it because I used to work there, so I think it'd be interesting to talk about all the
Yeah.
people you bump into.
Yeah, because I
What-
popped it
yeah.
up. I put some clips up because I thought there was Sea Org. I didn't know, I don't know who's who and whether they're staff or Sea Org or whatever. But I put up a thing with all the faces saying, "Are these anyone's family and do they need rescuing and stuff?" But yeah, I was there with my son and my nephew. We were having a day out in London, and I was like, "Oh, should we just pop to the Church of Scientology while we're here?" Because they know all about it. They think it's absolute nonsense. And I thought, come on, it'll be a laugh. And they were like, okay. So we went there. Yeah. It's really funny because there's one point where I don't know if you can hear it on there, but while I'm talking to the lady on the desk, my son goes up and starts watching a video. And I go up and, oh, what's that? Like, he knows it's crap. And I went, oh, there's volcanoes. And he goes, they're talking about going clear.
So cute. You can check out the full interview below. I've got a link to it. Check it out. And per Scientology Audit, you can find her channel on here on YouTube as well. She's been protesting Scientology in Australia and filling us in on what is happening over there. So be sure to check that out. Okay, now let's go look at KELLI COPTER. Oh my gosh, you guys. KELLI COPTER put out another fantastic video on another cult, Children of God. We're going to take a look at a clip, but you got to go see the whole thing. This girl, KELLI, is so talented. You guys know I love me some KELLI COPTER. It's why I want to go to London. It's why I'm trying to get her to come here to Minnesota so we can go on a road trip to the Black Hills. I want to show her Mount Rushmore, some of, the real America hotspots. Bear country. Did you know in South Dakota, there's this place you can go to and you can drive through in your car and there's bears all around you and they're just there doing their bear thing and you get to drive through. I love it. I would drive the 12, 14 hours just to do that and be amongst the bears. And I think KELLI would like it. But in the meantime, she is in the UK and she's creating some awesome content, including this video taking a look at another cult, the Children of God.
The Mo letters began around 1975 and were a continuous publication of David's Word of God. The name Mo letters is derived from Berg's nickname, Moses David. These documents were given to followers and contained anything from the prophecies about the end of the world to rules and instructions that members had to follow. Over the course of his lifetime, Berg had reportedly written over 3,000 Mo letters, featuring distinctive yet questionable artwork.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's a lot too. Some of these cult leaders kind of phone it in and don't come up with a lot of content, but sounds like this guy was trying.
Members have uploaded many of these letters to the internet, which I will leave a link to should you wish to peruse and take a look at these policies for yourself.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Fantastic video, KELLI. She's going to be doing more of these. It's so exciting. I love it. I just love it. I love that she's doing that. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, okay. So, wait, first, let's check on a couple things here. Kimberly in Japan. Thank you for being a member for 4 months, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Yay, I made a live. I've never liked Tom. Sorry, fans. He's not my type. No, I get you. When it comes to Tom Cruise, I do believe he is a talented actor. I can separate those two things. He's a talented actor. I think he's a crap human being. I don't know him personally, so that's probably a strong thing to say. But based on what I hear from people who did work with him and do things for him in the Sea Org, yeah, I'm standing by it. I think he's not a great human being. Just the fact that his best friend is David Miscavige, just that alone. When your best friend is the leader of a massive cult, where your best friend has physically beaten his staff. Now, granted, I would like to think he's not doing that in front of Tom Cruise. And I have not heard of an instance where Tom Cruise was present when David Miscavige was kicking the crap out of his own staff, Sea Org members who have dedicated their lives to forward the aims of Scientology for $47 a week, working over $100 a week, that he tortured, that he put in double wide trailers, that he deprived of food, that he deprived of sleep, that he mentally and physically tortured, which he did. So when that's your best friend, even if you don't see it and it's not happening, how do you not get that vibe, right? It's always you kind of like, no, maybe something's up. And you're like outside too. You have access to all the information you want on the internet when it comes to Scientology and these things. Do you really believe that every single person, Tom Cruise, who left Scientology is lying about it? Or every senior executive who left the Sea Org who worked directly with David Miscavige, Tom Cruise, do you think they're all lying about it? Why? Why would they do that? A lot of people just want to get on with their lives. The only reason you do stop and take the time to expose this and share it is because Scientology is a human trafficking cult that needs to be stopped. And this is your best friend, and you were in more of a position than anyone to create change. You're not doing it. It means you don't want to create that change. So there must be some agreement with that behavior and what's happening. At least that's how I feel about it. Okay, rant over. I'm going to step off my soapbox and we're going to talk about another Scientologist that does not annoy me so much. And that is John Travolta. I actually do like John Travolta. Oh, and Jibble Baggins says, don't forget to take Kelly to the big ball of twine. I've never been to the big ball of twine. I don't think. I need to do it. Jibble, where is it? I kind of forgot where it is. Let me know. We'll add it to the itinerary. Okay, so let's all scrub our brains, right? And scrub. We need like somebody sage to get rid of that negative Tom Cruise energy. And let's talk about John Travolta. John Travolta, are you guys, is anybody here? Tell me if you are. One in the chat. Are you following John Travolta on Instagram? I was not. I am now. There's some really cute videos in there that it just made me happy. As you guys know, John Travolta lost his wife, Kelly Preston, to cancer back in 2020, 2021, around there. Earlier, tragically lost their son, Jet, and went on to have 2 more children, Ella and Ben, who John is now raising. And he does so many things with his kids, or at least that's what's on Instagram. But you got to see, I just thought this was so cute. So first off, we got John Travolta heading to the Olympics on his private plane with, with his family, definitely with Bella. He says, this was our father-daughter trip to Paris for the Olympics. And I think it's so cute that he shared it on Instagram. Let's take a look.
On my way to the Olympics, flying to Paris, 8 hours, and we'll see you when we get to Paris.
You can't really hear him, but if you could hear him, he says, we'll see you when you get to Paris. So they're flying in the plane. He's got the beret on, which I think is Bella's because I saw her wearing it later. Looks like he's having maybe a little bit of champagne, flying over the sunset. Then they are at the games. I mean, it just look, there he is with his daughter. How adorable. I love seeing John Travolta with his daughter, because we all know who is not with one of his daughters. Seeing Paris, it just seems, based on what he shares on Instagram, that there's a lot of, they spend a good amount of time together and they're going out and experiencing the world together. And I got to say, I love it. I have no idea about Ella's involvement in Scientology, and I'm curious about that. So I kind of want to put it out there. Does anybody know? Do we have any behind the scenes info about what the deal is with his kids and their involvement in Scientology? Are they still involved in it? Because I wonder about that, because what often comes up is, why doesn't John Travolta leave Scientology? Is it because Scientology has blackmail on him? That could be the case. I don't know. Or could it be because his children are involved in Scientology and he doesn't want to yank them for that? Could be. I don't know. I've also heard that Lisa Marie Presley, when she was alive, used to go to his house and talk crap about David Miscavige. So I don't think he's that on board as a Scientologist, but maybe he just doesn't want to rock the boat. Maybe he's under the radar. I don't know. All I know is I'm liking following him on Instagram. I do. Kimberly in Japan, thank you for that. Natalie's words to Tom is pure gold. Hope he hears this. Yeah, I doubt he will. And yes, I follow John on Instagram. His posts are always adorable. I wish him the best. Right? I'm like low-key falling in love with John Travolta, I think, in a platonic way, because I don't think I'm his type. I don't think I have the proper equipment. But check out this other video that was on Instagram of Bella making a cake, except she's making the Tom Cruise cake. And I don't know if you guys know about the Tom Cruise cake. Let me set it up then, because maybe you don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Apparently, there is this coconut bundt cake, which I'm gonna be honest, it sounds amazing. It's like $125, I think. And Tom Cruise sends this cake during the holidays to like over 1,000, maybe even thousands of people. It's a lot of people. And it's been known as the Tom Cruise cake, this coconut bundt cake. Anyways, Bella makes her version, tried to make the Tom Cruise cake, which I found interesting. She's making the Tom Cruise cake. Could have just made a cake, but calling out Tom Cruise makes me think, okay, maybe they're cool with Tom Cruise. I don't know. Let's take a look at this.
This is a remake of the Tom Cruise cake.
Look at that.
I'm watching. I'm watching.
It looks very similar to it.
Messier, but okay.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's delicious.
I mean, I just love that. You know, his daughter's making cake. He's encouraging that. He's being encouraging. Here's the other thing I heard about the Tom Cruise cake is that Tom Cruise has never actually tried it. And I don't know if he just like does not eat any sugar at all or what the deal is. But apparently it is amazing cake. I myself have not tried it. It's $125 cake. And I myself do not bake. So I don't know. Maybe somebody in the community wants to try making this Tom Cruise cake and then we can eat it. There's got to be a way. He sends them in the mail. So there's got to be a way. Sandy McKenna, we need to try the Tom Cruise cake. Do you know anybody who bakes? I think we should plan that when I come visit. I'm going to come visit. I'm going to let you guys know when, but not right now. We do. Oh my gosh. Me and Taz. Yes. Oh, I want to call Jenna right now and be like, will you make the Tom Cruise cake? Maybe I will call her. Oh, I turned my phone off. I turned my phone off because I put it on Do Not Disturb, but the only people who can get through my Do Not Disturb are my family. And sometimes they're extra with the texting. Jenna, I'm going to call you, girl, right after this. Can you make the Tom Cruise cake? Maybe you can make it when we're in Clearwater so that we can all try it because I'm super interested in that. Plus, I just love cake. Let's be honest. I just want to eat cake. And a coconut bundt cake does sound amazing. And Jenna does bake. So I bet she could do it. I would try that. I would totally try it. What was I going to ask you guys? I forgot. I'll get to it. But first, let's keep going on here. I know there's something I wanted to run by you, and I'm having a total brain fart about it. Jason says, not sure Jenna would make the Tom Cruise cake. I think she would totally do it. I mean, there must be a recipe online. Somebody had to have reversed engineered this cake. I mean, it's not like Tom Cruise made the cake. Somebody else made the cake. He just sends it to people. I just think it sounds really good. Capricious Caroline says, Mama, oh, I would love recipes sugar and gluten-free. I bet there's a way to do it like that too. I feel like you can change almost any recipe into that. Sharona says the new version of the TC cake needs some fillers in it. Oh, what do you mean by fillers, Sharona? You got to tell me. I'm not a baker. I'm just an eater. James Bond says, LRH ruins spirituality. TC ruins cake. But Diddy, I feel like I got to try it before I can really judge it. I don't know. I just kind of want to try it. Abraham's volunteering to eat it. Yeah. Give me some of that cake. I would try it. Okay, so Reprise says, yes, the recipe is online. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Face fillers? All right, let's move on, you guys. Let's talk about Rebecca Minkoff and the Real Housewives of New York because the trailer is out. The trailer for it is out, and we've all been wondering, is Rebecca Minkoff really going to have a solid role in the show, or is she just a friend who's going to pop in, pop out? But based on the trailer, it looks like this girl is going to be in it, and in it in a big way. So let's look at a couple of things as we break this down and find out what the real deal is with Scientologist Rebecca Minkoff. All right. So Real Housewives of New York season 15 trailer is out. Rebecca Minkoff shoots down Scientology questions as rumors fly about an alleged pregnancy. Okay. So here's the cast. I don't, this could have been a previous picture. It's a season 15 promo, so she's not in there. I don't think. I don't see her, but she is involved in the drama. And you know what? Let's just take a look at the video. Let's do that. Let's take a look at a couple clips from the trailer because this girl, because we've been wondering, right, what's going to happen when Scientology is brought up on the show? Well, her fellow cast members are wondering that too. So let's take a look first at a little sneak peek from this trailer where some shade is thrown at Rebecca Minkoff. And for those that are new to my channel and don't know or you're not familiar with the story, Rebecca Minkoff is a second-generation Scientologist. Her Scientology family has donated millions of dollars to Scientology. Her father, Dr. David Minkoff, was involved in the death of two Scientologists, Lisa McPherson and Whitney Mills. And there's currently a court case underway regarding Whitney Mills' case. And in the Lisa McPherson case, I believe he had to pay like $100,000 for his role in that. So this is, the whole story behind Rebecca Minkoff. And I was not familiar because Rebecca Minkoff is a handbag designer. And, being that like, it's hard pressed for me to spend more than maybe $40 on a handbag. Not that I one day wouldn't. I'm hard on things. I feel like if I had a really nice designer handbag, I would have to keep it in a plastic bag so I don't break it or get it dirty because I'm just like a bull in a china shop sometimes. And yeah, just getting dirty and spilling food on myself and my things. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I need clothes that are just wash and wear. I don't want to have a relationship with a dry cleaner. If I can't put it back in the dryer and fluff it up to get rid of the wrinkles, it's not for me. I'm real low key like that. And honestly, like I do want to improve. Side note, I want to improve on that. Okay. I do need some help in that area. That's something that my Tony helped me with a ton. I wouldn't go shopping ever without him. He had such a better eye. So one of these days soon, maybe on one of my trips visiting a live streamer or somebody else here on SPTV, they can take me shopping who knows more about fashion and fitting clothes and all that because I suck at it. Hey, Liz Gale. Haha, me too. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Liz Gale, you guys, I did a great sit down with Liz Gale last night. Go over and check it out. It's on my channel. We talked about her time in one of the most fascinating things from that interview for me was her time in a Scientology boarding school. Liz Gale was sent to a Scientology boarding school when she was 8 years old. 8 years old. And then at 14, she went to community college. It's amazing. You got to hear it. So you can find it on my channel. It's probably it'd be the last video that I did. So do check that out because fascinating. And then make sure if you're not already subscribed to Liz Gale, just search up Liz Gale on YouTube and you can find her. Abraham says, I love doing laundry and I love to iron my clothes. That's great, Abraham. I don't. I suck at it. Maybe you can help me. I need an intervention. Half the time I sit down and Nancy's in the background going, girl, not that shirt. And then I always just tell her, I'm wearing it. I'm here. This is as good as it's going to get. But I do want to up my game in that way. Me and Taz, you're right. Reese is the fashion icon for the SPTV community. I should go get some fashion advice from Reese. I should do that. Go shopping in Nashville. Rhonda says, I would love to see you and Reese shopping on a future live. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can do that because you guys know we talked about the other day and I did go back and read your comments on the idea of me going out and meeting people in person in the community and doing interviews and stuff with them. I do want to do that and I have a plan for it and we're going to talk about that too in a little bit. But first, let's get to this. Oh, wait, no, we're going to look at the sneak peek. So let's see here. Ghost in the machine there. I'm back. Okay, where are we at? We were talking about, we were going to go ahead and look at that Real Housewives clip, the shade, you guys, that's being thrown at her. I'm so here for it. I am. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull it up. I got my order of things mixed up here. Okay. James still Barb. No, that was me. That was me. I got all excited about shopping and kicked myself out of my own live stream. This is what I'm saying, people. Sometimes, eventually, I got to get to the point in my life where I can afford an assistant because I need a nanny. I need somebody to help keep me on track, keep things together. Me and Taz, I'll be your personal assistant, Natalie. We should talk. Though I feel almost like I need one in person sometimes. Okay, so back to the shade being thrown at Rebecca Minkoff on The Real Housewives of New York coming up in season 15.
I know your name like I know Coca-Cola.
Rebecca Minkoff. Have you ever heard of her?
I don't know.
If you were just at Nordstrom Rack, you probably saw her stuff.
That was shady.
Oof. Whatever. I built a $100 million company.
Yeah, good for you. And you know what? Good for her. Because as I've come to learn more about Rebecca Minkoff, she did build a $100 million company. And, you know, she has designed some really cute handbags and clothing as well that people like. So even though, you know, there are reasons to throw shade at her because of her family connections and all that. But I mean, mainly like my beef is really not with her, not at this point. I feel like if she gets even more success on The Real Housewives, maybe she'll just leave Scientology. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she'll hear enough from people about like, oh, what they really think about Scientology. Because when I left Scientology, that is when I found out what people close to me really thought about Scientology. And had they told me sooner, it might, maybe not the first time or even the second time, but it does kind of get through as a Scientologist when people you respect and care about, if they do it in a loving way that's not so like really critical and attacking, because what is she getting out of it? That's what I wonder. And why is she giving him so much money? So I think we're going to find that out. But wasn't that like massively shade? I was like, oh. And there's nothing wrong with Nordstrom's Rack, but I guess it's The Real Housewives, right? Okay, so let's look now because Rebecca Minkoff was asked by a cast member, well, when we're asked about Scientology, what would you like us to say? Oh, and this is the response Rebecca Minkoff gave is not the response that anyone on The Real Housewives of New York is going to give. At least I don't believe it.
Pigeons, they're everywhere. If people ask us about the Scientology, what do you want us to say?
And I don't know if you could hear that because it's quiet because the airplane is so loud. When people ask us about Scientology, what do you want us to say?
No comment. Pigeons.
No comment. No comment. No comment. Okay. If you watch The Real Housewives, or even if you didn't watch it, you get a gist of what it basically is about for that show, right? I want you guys to tell me in the chat. Put a 1 if you agree with me that no Real Housewife is going to say no comment if they're asked about Scientology. And a 2 if you think they're going to be like, yeah, we have your back. No comment. No comment. 1 if you think they're going to be like totally dishing about it. Because you cannot tell me at this point that the women on The Real Housewives of New York who've been filming with Rebecca Minkoff have not looked into Scientology, have not gone to the internet and done a little bit on the Google machine and gone, ooh, look at this. Or seen, I mean, if you Google Rebecca Minkoff, eventually the people who've covered her, even here on YouTube and social media, those things are going to come up too. Okay, we got a lot of 1s coming in. So it seems like you agree. They're just not going to say it. Yep, snot face, no comment will not fly on Real Housewives. Let's be real. The Real Housewives franchise on Bravo is about drama. People wouldn't watch if there wasn't all the drama. And I'm not sure there's anything that people find as entertaining as a bunch of incredibly privileged and wealthy people getting into a whole bunch of drama with each other. I think it's why the show has been so successful because there's so many of them, so many that I need to catch up on too. I started watching Real Housewives of Dubai. Woo! I'm telling you, they do. Right, Snotface? Those women throw shade so hard. It's all about the drama. And if you want to stay on the show, you've got to bring the drama. So this is my little message to Rebecca Minkoff. I'd like you to stay on the show. babe. I really do. I want you to be on the show and I want you to be successful because people will continue to talk about Scientology. It's just going to go with the flow. It's going to be about it. When they learn about you, they learn about Scientology, they learn about your dad. Every media outlet who has reported Rebecca Minkoff's involvement in the Real Housewives has also talked about Scientology. And that is why I support this. And I want her to succeed and have a major role on the Real Housewives. And I hope she comes up with a better answer than no comment. Somebody should challenge her on that on the show. And let's be real too. When you do those reality shows, you sign. Now, I don't know on the Real Housewives exactly what they sign. But I know in most cases, when you do a reality show, you sign your life away. They're allowed to edit and paint you as a character that they want to paint you. And you can't tell me that Bravo is not going to have a Scientologist land in their lap and be like, oh, no comment, no comment. We're not talking about Scientology. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't. Skipper the geriatric chihuahua. Oops, why is this not? Hold on a second. Let's pull you up here. Oh, nope, that's Kimberly. Kimberly. Skipper and the geriatric chihuahua. Thank you for the super sticker. All of them have drama, personality disorders central. Could be. I'm telling you. I just think that it's going to be good TV and good entertainment. Right? Stunt face. Andy Cohen is going to have so much fun with this. Truly. I'm just picturing the reunion show. Just that. God, I'm so into this. I got to make sure I got Bravo. I keep saying that. I need to do it. I need to do it. Susan says, I'm sure they've been briefed that Scientology talk is off limits. Sure, maybe, but they're not going to stick to it. It's not like the cast members that I'm aware of signed anything that said that, oh, this is off limits. This is the Real Housewives of New York. Everybody's dirty laundry is going to come out. If you go on the show and you have skeletons in the closet, you better dust them off because they're going to come out and they're going to do a dance. Yes, they are. They totally are. Okay, so now it is time, people, for, okay, first this last comment about it, and I'll leave it. Me and Taz, can someone send an e-meter to the housewives? They can use it like a Ouija board. Yes, yes. Let's do it. I don't have an e-meter. I sold mine after I left Scientology to people who still practice Scientology, just not connected to the actual organization. I guess it's like black market Scientology e-meters. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what else to do with it. I could have used it as a doorstop, but I figure why not try to get some of that money back and give it to somebody who could use a left-handed e-meter. Okay, now let's talk about Scientology dating. Have you ever sit there and wondered, Natalie, how do Scientologists find people to date? Is there a dating site dedicated to Scientologists? Or do they go on ones like, I don't even know what they are these days. This is like how long, like I have not, when's the last? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Yep. Nope. I have not dated since the 90s because I was married. And then after I split with my husband, I didn't really date. I met Tony, I dated him, but when I say dating, I mean dating and seeing other people, right? Just dating, getting to know people, doing that. Like people do now online with these online dating sites. But I met Tony at a baby shower and didn't expect to fall in love with him and all of that, but we did. And I'm so grateful for that. But I'm looking at it and realizing like I've not actually dated since the 90s. Whoa. I do not need a Scientology dating site, but if I did, there is one, and we are going to take a look at it. And mock, yes, left-handed e-meters, because when you're using the e-meter, when you're doing solo auditing or you're auditing someone else, you have to write. So if you're left-handed, you have to work the dial on the meter with your right hand and write with your left hand. And if you're right-handed, this thumb is doing the dial on the meter to keep the needle on the dial, and then you're writing with this hand. So the only difference with a left-handed meter is the dial controls on the opposite side. It's such a scam because not that there's left-handed meters, just that there's meters that they make you buy 2 of. So in my household, we had to have 4. 2 for me because I was left-handed, 2 for my husband because he was right-handed. Total scam. Anyways, back to Scientology dating. Oh, I almost feel like we need a little bit. Is there any like romantic music on this thing? Let's try it out. Let's see what we can find. let's talk about Scientology dating and how Scientologists find love. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, I don't like that. You know what? Let's skip the music for now. Okay, so here we go. Nora, if you're still in the chat, I expect you to be jumping in with some comments on this. This is Free Spirit Singles. Free Spirit Singles. So it says free spirit, a person with a highly individual or unique attitude, lifestyle, or imagination, non-conformist. And that is from dictionary.com. All right, here. So let's see. What's Eric Rader saying right off the bat? Eric is saying Scientology dating site. If you like each other, you submit to a quick security check and then give the money you would have used on the date to the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. Ah, Eric, that is funny. Okay, so let's get back to this here. Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. Mike Sandoval, the Thetan dating game. Okay, Free Spirit. So here we are. Free Spirit Singles is a dating service for free-spirited and spiritually minded people. Now you might be saying, Natalie, what's up with you? Why you think that's a Scientology dating site? You're just being nasty. No, my friends. We're going to take a closer look at this and see why we know it is a Scientology dating site. Okay, so if you scroll down a little bit, right, you can sign up for free for Free Spirit Singles. Here's a couple people. Whoa, they got a little video. What is it? Finding the right person sometimes isn't easy. Well, that is true. That's why we've created this website to assist you. All right, I'm here for it. To find those people who are spiritual minded. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm into that. And founded in morals. Oh, founded in morals. Okay. Of right and wrong conduct. You can connect with people who are easy to communicate with. Really? I got to pause it right there. Easy to communicate with? Scientologists? I don't know. Well, you guys have seen a lot of videos on Scientology, right? Do you land? Does that land? Does that sit with you? Are you like, yeah, I feel that. Scientologists are so easy to communicate with. Having agreement with the important things in life. Well, that's important. Makes it easy. That is true. When you have agreement on things in a relationship, it does make it easy to create all those good things in life. Happy face. Yeah, that's true. Start by creating your online profile today. Well, all right. I'm probably not going to do this, but Free Spirit Singles. Okay. So they got the video. They've got that, right? It just really sounds like you're getting the vibe of like, hey, morals and ethics. And I mean, let's be honest. Of course, you want somebody who shares your values and shares your morals. I am not knocking that. I just think it's interesting that that's kind of led with on this site. So let's take a closer look, because still you might be like, Natalie, you're full of it. Why you still think this is a Scientology dating site, right? Oh no, Nora says, oh my God. Okay, it gets better, Nora. It gets better. Okay, so boom. On their homepage, The Way to Happiness is a common sense guide to better living. Its simple, basic principles help create long-lasting relationships. Does it? The Way to Happiness helps to create long-lasting relationships. Does it? Because last time I checked, the thing practiced more than anything in Scientology is disconnection. You might... Phil Jones, where's his long-lasting relationship with his children who don't speak to him because of Scientology's harmful practice of disconnection? We can talk about family members after family members of people who, whether it's their children or whether it's their parents, they don't have a relationship. Marriages have been broken up. I think Nicole Kidman might have something to say about this. The way Scientology interfered with her family. Liz Gale says, me trying to have the short comm lag so I can be considered a good date in Scientology. Did you really? Okay, let's explain that. A comm lag or communication lag in Scientology means how long it takes the other person to answer the question, not how long it takes them to respond, how long it takes them to answer the question. So if I say, do birds fly, which is an actual, in the drill in Scientology, it's a training routines drill. The person, the Scientologist, will ask the coach, do birds fly? And the coach will say, yes. And the Scientologist goes, thank you. Then the Scientologist says, do birds fly? And the coach is like, gosh, the weather is amazing today. And then the Scientologist is trained to say, I'll repeat the auditing question. Do birds fly? And they have to say it as if they've never asked it before. So until you get an answer, then if you don't answer the question, that's like the length of your communication lag. And L. Ron Hubbard says it's an indication of the kind of shape that that person is in. So when Scientologists are looking for partners, they are looking for people without a big communication lag, because L. Ron Hubbard said, those are the cream of the crop there. Those are the people that you want. So I totally get what you're saying, Liz. That is hilarious. Okay, so let's more on this. The website features. We have many features that will make it easier and faster to find the person you're looking for. We are smartphone friendly. Okay, number one, I hope you're smartphone friendly because it's 2024. This should not be your selling point here. The other thing is Scientologists as a demographic tend to be people who are older, so you might want to make the print bigger on this website. Organized features. Unlike social media groups, you can easily search, keep track of, and organize people you want to connect up with. Viewing member profiles can be easy, fun, and stress-free. Privacy plus membership. We have a membership that gives you total privacy while promoting and connecting to people. That is such Scientology speak. While promoting and connecting to people. Who in the dating world, now granted, I haven't dated since the 90s, and I've been in, I was in Scientology for 35 years. In the dating world, is it considered promoting yourself to somebody else? Do people say that? Can you guys tell me? Do you go on dating sites and promote yourself? I mean, the wording is just a bit on the cringe side, but maybe it's a thing and I just don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, you jump in those comments. The only people who can view your profile are those you choose to view it. Well, that's good. Now, then there's premium star membership, okay? Now, this membership gives you a lot of more exposure. If you want to be seen, this is the membership for you. You won't be hidden or lost in the listings. Okay. I kind of got to call shenanigans on this. You won't be hidden or lost in the listings. Are there really that many? If there are about 20 to 30,000 Scientologists on the entire planet, how many of them are single? How many of them are members on this site? I just kind of feel like getting lost in the shuffle and number of Scientologists looking for other Scientologists is just not a thing. Not a thing. I don't think it's a thing. All right, let's see. Our secure in-house communication system allows you to connect with members without giving out your personal and private information. Because you know what? You can't be trusting fellow Scientologists with your private information. We know that. But it's secure in-house communication. Handle unreplied messages. You don't like not getting replied to on other dating services. We have a feature that ensures you get replies to your communications. That's freaking weird. We have a service that ensures you get replies to your communication. It's so Scientology speak. Daniel Penny says, icebreaker, first date question. How far up the bridge are you? That's right. What is your status in the International Association of Scientologists? Oh, I mean, I can just see it. I can just imagine it. Because even when I was a Scientologist, I didn't date. I was in the Sea Org. I dated one guy and I married him. That's what you do. You don't have time to date and you want to be able to have your own room in the Sea Org. So it's a bonus to get married, even though I did it at 17, like many of my peers did. What would it actually look like on a Scientology date? I swear. I think we're going to have to just imagine that. Okay. So now, but I did think that was weird, right? You don't like getting no replies. We have a feature that ensures you get replies to communications. I'd like to know what that is, because if I don't want to respond, now I don't have experience on, online dating, but I would think if someone doesn't respond, that's a social cue that they're not interested. So how is Scientology guaranteeing a response? I don't get it. You guys got to tell me who's done the online dating. Does this seem like what happens on other dating sites. I mean, seriously, Reprise says asking about status is basically asking how much cash you got. That's true. That's true. Oh, and it just gets better. Our Spotlight feature allows you to select specific members you have interest in, and your profile shows up at the top of the listings for that member's searches. So they basically get you into the top search for people that you're interested in. Of course you do, because there's probably hardly anybody on this site to begin with. It wouldn't be that hard. Now, they do give, because I know you guys are wondering, like, well, Natalie, you haven't dated since the 90s. So who are you to give any dating advice? I'm not. But Free Spirit Singles has some dating advice. And I think you guys need to know about it. And we need to talk about it. Stasha, I can't wait to get my hands on your cans. Audit me, audit me. That's probably what, I mean, you know, what do they call it? Sexting is like for Scientologists, right? Pick up the cans. I've got some cans for you. I mean, I just your imagination can run wild with it. So they do have dating advice. So for those of you out there who are single and ready to mingle, I got some Scientology dating advice for you. Let's take a look at this. Successful actions in dating. And again, successful actions, huge Scientology speak. Successful actions in getting people into Scientology. They're all about the successful actions. So what are their successful actions? There are 15 key successful actions that can greatly enhance your dating experience. Each one of them can help pull in your dream. They can help you get answers to the following. How do you overcome the major stumbling blocks in dating? Wait, I thought these were the successful actions. These are just the questions. What is the most important thing to know with regard to dating and relationships? How do you minimize the rejection part of dating? What key promotion actions do businesses use that can help you in dating? What key promotion actions do businesses use that can help you in dating? Let me translate this from Scientology speak into regular English. They're basically taking L. Ron Hubbard's administrative technology that Scientologists say they use in their businesses, or consultants who use L. Ron Hubbard's administrative technology with the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises. This is how they get all those dentists and chiropractors into Scientology. They take this. So that means they're basically going to take L. Ron Hubbard technology and show you how to use it with dating. I swear to God. I swear to God. This is awesome. This is just beyond fabulous. What key promotional actions do businesses use that can help you in dating? That is exactly what that means. They're going to use L. Ron Hubbard technology to promote yourself. I just almost like got to join. I got to see this. What are key promotion? Okay, we did that one. Why are your personal goals important in dating? I mean, duh. I think we all kind of know that, right? You want to have some goals. They're important. You want to share the goals. Abraham says, ready to get hot and heavy, then meet in the purification rundown. You know what? If they put that in there, they could probably get more people. Reprise, can't wait to sit down with my date and do admin scales. Oh, Reprise, you got to be an ex-Scientologist, because admin scales are something that you do to make sure that in Scientology, that basically your values and your plans align with somebody else's. It's L. Ron Hubbard's a way of doing that. I have completely forgotten about admin scales. Oh my gosh. Somebody remind me to do a video on admin scales. That'd be a funny one. I feel like, Nora, we should do that. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to look a little bit more at this. What are the pitfalls in long distance dating and how do you avoid them? People, why do we think that this is a button on their site? What are the pitfalls to long distance dating? Because if you join this site, you likely, unless you live in Clearwater or Los Angeles, you're going to be doing long distance dating because the 20,000 or so Scientologists are scattered to the wind around the world. So yeah, you're going to have to do some long distance dating. And there's nothing wrong with long distance dating, but I think it's interesting that they call it out. because most other dating websites try to connect you with people in your community. But we know there just aren't that many Scientologists. So they know they can't do that. So they have to push the angle of long distance dating. Ooh, we got all the tea on how to long distance date. What's the difference between a date and a pre-date? What's the difference between a date and a pre-date? I don't even know. Is this a thing? Again, people out in the real world who've been dating. What is a pre-date? Is that when you talk beforehand? Or is this some weird Scientology thing? Pre-date versus a date. Is it when you discuss? Do you get on the phone? Do you text? Like what's the deal? Somebody's going to have to tell me. Phil Jones says, let's have dinner and do nani. Okay, nani is non-existence. And in Scientology, it's how you basically let people know you're there. When you come into a new group or you go into a new area, you basically find lines of communication and you find out what's needed and wanted, which in theory is kind of basically what people kind of do, but so formally they do it. That's why I think dating in Scientology on a site like this would be really weird, because you'd be doing it through a Scientology lens. So I would imagine it would be very robotic and kind of vanilla. I mean, let's be honest. I just think it's going to be boring. Okay, so Mexican long hair says a pre-date is what people do in private before they go on a date. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I'm crazy in head. Do you need a touch assist, baby? Oh, okay. There's just a couple more of these. Let's see. You get the 15 key successful actions in dating for free when you sign up. Sign up today. Then here's creating and improving relationships, introductory lectures. These are all by Hubbard. So I think they link to Scientology.org. The dynamics links to Scientology.org. So basically the site takes you to Scientology.org, where you can learn more about the emotional tone scale, communication, components of understanding, and marriage. We're going to take marriage advice or even dating advice from an organization whose leader, whose founder, the source, L. Ron Hubbard. You know, the man was married 4 times. And I'm like, whatever. I've been married twice, which is why I'm not going around giving relationship advice. But both of them were in Scientology. But we're supposed to take advice from that person. The Marriage Hat was a booklet written by Mary Sue Hubbard, the only wife that Scientology acknowledges of his. The rest of them are hidden away as if it didn't happen. But now it's all out because, you know, the internet. Phil Jones says Scientology is very hierarchical also, and a large number are staff. So your public is very limited for dating. Ooh, that's so true, Phil. So even less people might be on this thing. Don Holt says silent birth doesn't mean silent conception. Know what I mean? Oh yeah, I know what you mean. And I'm like running through a filter in my head on I can't say that. Okay. I think it is. I will say this, having, you know, my relationships, my serious relationships were all in Scientology except for two. And those 2 relationships outside of Scientology were actually my best. One of them, of course, was my Tony. We were together for almost 11 years. In fact, you guys, I just remembered what I was going to ask you about. This Friday would have been my anniversary with Tony. And I thought it'd be fun to do kind of I don't know, fun. It could be fun, or I could be a complete and utter hot mess. I'm going to be honest with you. But I thought on Friday, which is our anniversary, because I'm like, I don't know what to do for that first, without him. So I thought, why don't we do a live stream? Which, like I said, I'm getting choked up about it now. So I'm not sure it's a good idea. But you guys tell me, do you want to do something like that on Friday? And we can kind of like talk about Tony. We could talk about Scientology's online dating, like whatever. But I kind of thought to mark the occasion, why don't I spend it with my friends? So give me a 1 in the chat if you guys want to participate and do something like that on Friday. And I am not offended in the least. If you want to give me a 2 and go, I don't know that I would tune in for that. And if you're catching it on the replay, again, it's 1-4. Do you guys want to do something on Friday to celebrate what would have been my anniversary? And I really mean to try to celebrate it. But you know I'm going to cry. Bring Kleenex. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. But do throw that up in the chat. Let me know. 1, if you want to do that. 2, if And honestly, I have nothing on it if you're not down with that. I'm super cool with it. Because nothing can be worse than this Scientology free spirit singles. Okay, they've got some success stories on there. You can check that out. I'm going to link this down below too. I kind of don't want to go through the whole thing because we're kind of running out of time here too. But I'm just going to grab one of these because I said I wasn't, and now I'm gonna, because it's just too good. It's too good to pass up. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at a couple of these. Some are simple. I married the guy I met on Free Spirits and we lived happily ever after. Okay, that's good. I found my half because of you. Thank you so much. Here's one. Found my forever guy on your site. At 61, I got on the online dating scene for 4 years after my husband passed. I met a lot of nice people, but never felt I was connecting with spiritual guys. My niece recommended Free Spirit Singles, and all the options I saw on the site were guys that had a lot more going on with them spiritually. For me, that equals more heart, brains, and communication. I had given up on the online sites, and this was the one that came true for me. Now, amazingly, at my age, married happily again. Like, I'm happy for you. Don't get it twisted. I'm happy for you. And thank you guys for throwing up the ones, giving me feedback in the chat. I appreciate that. If I missed any comments, I'm going to go through after this and read that. I mean, I want people to be happy. I want Scientologists to be happy at the end of the day. And one of the ways that a lot of people get into Scientology is through dating a Scientologist. So that's another reason why I find this very interesting, because at what point, like if you click on the links, you see it goes to Scientology.org. I mean, this site screams, tell me you're a Scientologist without telling me you're a Scientologist. So how does this work for people that go on or might join that are not Scientologists? Like, I'm curious and I want to know if anybody, and if you're an ex-Scientologist that used this or an earlier version of it, I want to hear from you. Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com. I'm incredibly curious. And if you're willing to share your story, I think it would be really fun to talk about. So reach out to me, you guys. And everybody who's here, if you could please show that like button some aloha, hit that subscribe, set that notification bell to all so you get notifications when I go live. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, that's all I got for you guys right now. I hope everybody gets out and has an amazing cult-free day.